How are we all doing today? So, that was a bit of a weird beginning. Weak beginning. Let's try that again. Good evening, lads, lasses, and you non-binary folk. How are we all doing this evening? Are you ready? The much belated and delayed revenge against Crash Bandicoot begins. Cheers to that. Do tell me how everything's sounding. You're well? Wonderful, that's great. That's right. Today I was, doing a Zoom call with a student that I was dealing with today. And the sound was being bizarre, it was acting very strange, so do tell me if anything happens if I suddenly go mute, or slowly start getting quieter and quieter and quieter. I also messed a bit with the sound, unfortunately, so it may be different to what it was yesterday. So do tell me. I'm ready, I had 24 hours to prepare. Yes, you did, didn't you? Sorry about that. I did put it on Twitter, but I realize it's no easy way for me to communicate with those who only have... Right now it sounds good, wonderful. Maybe I just wasn't projecting enough when I was dealing with my student. Move the mic a bit. Don't know why. Couldn't figure it out. I had to unplug it and plug it back in to make it work. It was very bizarre. But yes, what was I saying? Yes, I'm sorry about that. Yesterday I was just not feeling up to it. And if it's anything I've learnt in my old age, it's to... Remember, your body knows exactly what's wrong with you, so if you feel awful, you probably shouldn't do things. The longest lesson that took me to learn how to take a bloody break. And I still haven't quite learned it, it's just that it's a bit easier to down tools when you don't feel that connected, that you're not really doing this for money or fame, just doing it for the fun of it. And if it's no fun, what's the point? So I delayed it. I did put something on Twitter, and somebody said, make sure you take a good rest, and I was like, oh, thank you very much, very kind. And I've lost my train of thought. Maybe I'm not recovered. Yeah, it was just a bit of a headache and a bit of misery. Bit of a misery guts I was yesterday. Other than that root nonsense, it's all good. Don't let me finish posting this on Twitter. I am at 5 now. There we are. Delete that when we get back. Yes, I see Tiberian must have come in yesterday just after I changed it. Or perhaps at 7:30 when the stream was supposed to begin. 24 hours indeed. Very good. It was quite rough, but I'm back. I'm still in quarantine though, and it's fairly depressing. Really missing that gin. But today I have a drink, and I'll ask for yours. What drinks have you brought this evening? Today my drink is a soda base, as quite common. It's that or tonic most of the time. My cocktails aren't very exciting. With some butterfly pea shenanigans in it and black tea. Usually I keep the butterfly pea stuff for clearer drinks, but I just wanted to use the alcohol I had the most of right now. I'm trying to get this to last until Christmas. I've been promised more bottles of alcohol from my niece. It's part of our gift exchange that our family does. I have to buy that niece's partner his present. And she is buying me a present. I'm drinking Chardonnay. Chardonnay. Reminds me of the Chardonnay they had at the wedding. It was awful. I don't know what was wrong with that Chardonnay, but it was barely fit for human consumption. I wouldn't even feed that to the dogs, frankly. But don't tell the wedding organisers I said that. Can you now? That high frequency noise I always talk about. Can you hear it this time, can you? How about now? Can you still hear it? Can you still hear it? Finally, I'm not mad. It It is particularly bad today, isn't it? I wonder what's doing it. It's that kind of, it almost sounds like a fan, or like a cycling of something. Like there's one of those steel fans running in the background, but I've turned off everything. There's nothing running. No fans, no air conditioning. Turn the air conditioning back on right now, actually. Strange, isn't it? I really do wonder what it is. Perhaps it's the cord. Maybe I should replace it. I think you can avoid it yourself by turning the stream down a bit. That'll allow you to avoid most of the sound. Yes! It does sound a bit metallic, doesn't it? I do wonder what it is. Ugh, it's going to be very noisy when I pull this mic off. Does it sound different now I'm holding it in my hand? Can you hear the sound of my heartbeat? Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling. Oh. Yes! Sorry about that. Just putting it back on the mic stand. Now you can suffer what I have suffered. Because if I turn myself down, probably reduce the sound, but you can barely hear me. Actually, no, it doesn't reduce the sound at all. That's interesting. Well, you're just gonna have to suffer for this stream. Unfortunately. Huh. I'm glad you can hear it, though. I'm not mad. It's way worse than last stream. I think it's this old Behringer board. It was very cheap. And second hand. So the poor thing might be on its way out. Which will be a bloody expense I didn't want to deal with this month. Just when I wanted not to spend money, eh? Well, c'est la vie. Sorry about that. I was moving chords. Let me try something. I might... Give me a moment. I'm going to disappear for a couple of minutes. I might be back with a solution. I may not. We'll have to see. Up, up, up. Da, 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 da. I'm very quiet, I understand. Perhaps even unhearable. Sound better, does it? I hear myself. Self down. I cannot hear myself on my own monitor of the screen, that's the problem. Ah, that's why. The speakers have changed to the... Ah, it was that bloody thing. Ah, where was it? How about this? This is pretty loud, but the gain is almost at maximum. Media source is quite loud too. I'll turn you down a bit. Yeah, I sound a bit muddier, but it works. So, will we finally actually play Crash Bandicoot? Ah, I wish I could have gotten the Behringer to work. There we are. Oh, yeah.
But Dr. Cortex...
Yep, yeah. What happened to the Elgato? Oh yes, the password. Passwords. We're up to that bloody bridge, aren't we? Last time we did one. Temple ruins complete. That'll be what we need. Square, triangle, circle, circle, triangle, circle, square, triangle, triangle, circle, 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 X, square, square, circle, square, triangle, circle. Games are quite a bit louder than me. Ah, it must have messed up everything. I've turned the game down a fair bit. Probably messed up absolutely everything. I could turn myself up even more. Yep. Well, at least the buzzing's gone. I'm free from that horrid buzzing. A new era has begun. I wonder if I have compression on this thing. I do have a compressor. It's probably set weirdly, but there is a compressor. What would happen if I turned the noise suppression off? I've just turned down the noise suppression a lot. Has that changed anything? And all this time I just had to use the bloody little box that I got with the rest of this kit. Oh, I've forgotten how horrid this thing controls. Well, what can we do about that? Sometimes life is just not fair. I'm annoyed at myself that I didn't realize this was the problem sooner. Well, I did, but perhaps I didn't think I had any recourse. I was being stubborn. That's the problem. Comes with age. You're far more willing to suffer through foolishness and just fix the damn problem. So that's gonna be the theme of today, me overstepping my jumps. Maybe I shouldn't have missed yesterday. Clearly I need the practice. I do remember there being a lot of lives at the end of this level though, so I'm not too concerned. Oh, look at another life. It's very annoying that those streams have all become pretty much useless to me now. I don't think I'll be able to edit that sound out of many of the streams that have suffered from it. And it's been there for a while. It got worse and worse, but I suppose this old board was just dying. That's what I get for being stingy. One of these days I'll have to replace it with a fancy old Go XLR, what are those things are called. Is that snake always there? Didn't hear it till today. But if you look back on the playbacks of the stream, it's quite apparent. Perhaps it's certain speakers that can hear it. And my speakers were always able to. Well. So have you changed speakers recently? Or changed your method of listening to things recently? Perhaps it's that. Perhaps there's a certain compression rate used by certain things that make it obvious. Ah, bastard. I imagine... Damn it. I imagine you were similar to... what's his name? Tiberian. Originally, because he couldn't hear it either. And not many people could, so... I have no idea what the marker is. Well, since I heard it, I decided to go back to my old setup, and I didn't change it. Ah. Very strange. Very strange indeed. I suppose it's just one of those, as my one of my old paramedics mentors used to say. It's just the magic fairy pixies that hide inside the machine that do all the work. You don't know how things work, you just know that magic fairy pixies make it work. The little gnomes that live inside the machines do it. That's how we always used to talk about some of the machines we used to use. In the early days of paramedics. Well, I say early days, but... the breath goes in and comes out with this magical fairy pixie dust number. We just trust it. Not many people truly know how these machines work. I always thought it would be a very curious concept for a science fiction series. I guess a lot of science fiction series do have that sort of concept. There's usually one single piece of technology that is so advanced and magical that the author can't explain it, but it's there and it's integral to the story. Bastard. Usually the warp drive in most science fiction. That would be funny to find out one day that one piece of technology that a society uses... No good a day. Not a good day, clearly. That society uses often is somehow magical in nature. Unexplainable. I think that would be an interesting basis for a story. And I'm only ending this level with 5. That's if I survive all these jumps. Well, onto that bloody bridge. Where the cheese is as deadly as... well, as doing it normally. But it's slightly less certain. We will try and punch these bloody pigs, though.
What have I got? What have I got?
Would you look at that? Was an impressive bit of work. See? Bloody pigs are invincible. I thought afterwards that maybe I just hadn't tried killing them. But no. Bloody things are just invincible. This level seems to understand how difficult it is. And then you slip off just before the end. Thinking of how I'm going to do it, let's go a bit further than it needs me to. Because it kept slipping me to the left. I thought if I went further to the right, I might be safe. Okay. Huh? Righty then. Yes, that seems good. Slipped off the wrong way. Well. Yes, and that rope stuffs me up. To be careful. I do have to make sure. This bloody cheese is as deadly as the other one. See, I can't even teeter over. And he gets all the way over here. Didn't know that! This is going to be this stream if you didn't understand before. This level is going to be this stream. It's just how it's gonna be. I'm gonna be really good at this one.
What have I got?
It appears to remote play. I'd volunteer to play it for you, but I don't think that'd be any more honest. No. I'm thinking if it frustrates me for at least half the time, I'll find if I can't find the next code. That's the next level. Because I believe there's a save code every 2 levels, so... I'll just get that one. And just skip the level entirely. How did I manage to do that? Don't you hate it? Stuff of apples. Don't like you. Anyway, I don't think remote play was a sparkle in the creator's eyes before that, in the PS2 era. Actually, I was just about to talk about that. That's a very good thing. TV shows that I've been watching, yes. Well, I have had a bit of time to watch TV shows, so I've watched a few things. Let me recall them once I get to a level that part of the level I actually enjoy. The problem is, I'm still not very good at this multitasking thing. At least I got the checkpoint. But yes, I watched this week, specifically. What did I watch? I'm suddenly blanking on them. They were on Netflix and various other things. I decided to watch shows that I had heard from others were quite good. So I think I started with... I should look at my history. I definitely started with I had on the Amazon, The Expanse. A sci-fi... That's why I was actually mentioning sci-fi, it was on my mind. The Expanse is a hard sci-fi series. Very political, very real. It feels quite real. It's very well able to sell that. This is just real people living in space sort of thing. They're not beyond our solar system. They've only colonized the solar system. They haven't gone any further than that. They do have this reactor they don't really explain. The Expanse is quite good. I watched the first season, but hour-long episodes were quite difficult for me to sit through. Mostly because I kept falling asleep. I kept dozing off. But I did manage to get through the first season. I quite enjoyed it. Yeah. I can see why people were, raving about it. It does seem quite nice, and from what I know, it's based on some sort of novel series. I don't read much sci-fi, and sci-fi isn't really my thing. I'm more of a fantasy fellow, you say. So I don't really expect I'd enjoy it as much as I did, but... Good evening, Tiberian. Waited your 24 hours, and now you're back. I'm just playing these levels while talking about the shows I've been watching while I was in quarantine. How are you doing, though, Tiberian? This stream exciting enough to wait 24 hours for? I will apologise for that. I was feeling quite under the weather yesterday, and decided last minute to change the timing of the stream. I posted on Twitter about it, but I didn't really have much way to contact you fellows that only watch on YouTube. Oh yes, I've also changed my setup, because Cardbox complained about that high-pitched sound that I always keep mentioning. Just woke up. No better way to be. Yes, that high-pitched sound that I always complained about. Apparently Cardbox heard it this time. So I've taken the Behringer out of the equation. The old, poor, tired soundboard that I had.
What have I got?
Other than that, I've been suffering at the hands of this bloody level. As we always have been. Oh! Ha! I just cannot dodge those bloody pigs. Oh look, I jumped over it that time. That's never happened before. Can't wait to try and do that while it's actually difficult. Pig running on the air hardly seems fair. I know, right? Bloody magic pigs. Oops. But 12 lives. It's a fair few lives to get through this level with. I jumped over him that time. That was surprising. I'm tempted to do these jumping sections that don't have the pigs in them. Normally. What I'm more worried about is the sections that don't have me be able to jump at my own leisure. Namely, these sections. Oh, the bonus level. Oh dear. I see. But if I spin, I'll instantly die. Ah. Clever. Would you look at that? Some bloody progress. Give me a moment. I'm going to freeze and stare off into space while I take a photo of this. I'm going to make sure I get this password. Back in existence. There we are. Progress! Progress indeed. On this road to nowhere. Sounds like a band title. A song title. That's certainly a song. Well, that is something else. Ah! Would you look at that, mate? Would you bloody well look at that? Ha! Take a drink for that victory, mates. Victory indeed. If I had a bloody shot of whiskey right now. Or of that gin. That'd have been good. Finally, some new levels! Doesn't it feel good? It only took 30 minutes. Look at all those lives! Practically invincible, I say, as I'm about to enter another bloody boulder level. And isn't it just the last boulder level, except slightly different? Ah! After that platforming nightmare, I'm master at this. Oh dear, they have moving platforms. Better not take memorization like the pig level did. Wow, this is a... That is a long section! Good God! Might need to concentrate for this one. No riveting commentary for this. Oh! Good bloody god, mate. Oh, I didn't even set off the dynamite. Interesting. Clearly they expected you to lose quite a few lives that time. But they do not know the platforming prowess of old Eric here. Underestimate me at your peril. You can hardly run away from me. And I'm controlling this bizarre South Australian marsupial. I think it's from South Australia, the variety of Bandicoot he's supposed to be. Bastard. Cheeky sods. They're just throwing everything at me. I'm absolutely bloody smashing it. Yeah, take that, mate. Yeah, indeed. Crash. Take a load of that, mate. Absolutely smashing it. Now this level should have... This level should have a, bastard. Yes, The Expanse was good, speaking of TV shows. Now I'm back to a normal platforming section, don't have to hold my breath. And you don't have to hold yours either. Ah, I've forgotten about you, but you can't get me. Expanse was quite good, I enjoyed it. But I would say that I enjoyed Carnival Row a bit more. It's a bit more my thing. A fantasy, murder mystery. It's also got politics in it, but, you know, of those fantasy politics. A world of fairies and the like, and it stars Orlando Bloom. The handsome boy himself. Legolas and... I don't know what the main character other than Jack Sparrow was in the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, but that fellow. Sorry, Orlando. Your character wasn't memorable. Oh, that worked. How did I do that? But yes, Carnival Row was quite interesting. Though I did feel it have a... I guess it was fine for the show itself. It's a bit Game of Thronesy in its amount of sex scenes. That's the problem. And I never felt like there was a good amount of sex scenes in Game of Thrones. I do like the, what is the phrase that I heard someone use once about writing? If your sex scene could do just as much when it faded out to black instead of actually showing it. William! That fellow. But I always love to live by the phrase, and as prudish as it sounds, if your story can tell the same story where... but instead of a sex scene it fades to black, then there shouldn't be a sex scene. Is essentially the phrase. And I know that's not popular with everyone, it's a preference thing. I understand that. But you get what I mean. If it doesn't need to be there, don't put it there. If you just only need the implied nature of a sex scene, then what's the point of an actual sex scene? I've said sex scene so many times, the words are starting to lose meaning. But other than that, Carnival Row was perfectly fine, and some people really like those sort of scenes. What else did I watch? Oh, I watched the anime, Super Crooks. I believe there was a live action based in the same universe, the Jupiter's Legacy. I've only watched the first episode of Jupiter's Legacy, and I didn't like it very much, but Super Crooks, then that was fun. There was only a few times where I thought, I hate this story, why are you telling me this? Oh dear. Should have waited. But yes, oh dear. Super Crooks was very enjoyable. Very stylish art style. In fact, I had watched an anime with the same art style. It must have been done by the same company. Tiger and Bunny. On Netflix as well. These are all on Netflix, but oh, except The Expanse. The Expanse wasn't on Netflix. Actually, neither was Carnival Row. Carnival Row were both Amazon Prime. But Super Crooks was quite enjoyable. Bit heist filmy. Bit Ocean's 11-y. With some irredeemable main characters. There was only 2 episodes that I can really stand out as really hating. Dang it! I thought it was going to go down. I was really trying to speedrun that. But yeah, Super Crooks is quite good. I would suggest it. Very stylish, very fun. About some supervillains. Trying to pull off some big jobs against other supervillains. Very good. You know, evil heroes, the classic. And then... what was the other one? Ah, yes. It was only today that I watched it. I was still trying to bloody block it out of my brain. I watched the first 4 episodes of the anime called The Great Pretender. Now, once I get past this section, I will speak my thoughts on that. Oh, there's a bloody platform underneath there. I didn't realize that. You see, The Great Pretender is another heist show, and I quite enjoyed Super Crooks. So I thought, I'll probably enjoy this one too. Oh dear, I'm losing a few lives. So I sat myself down with a cup of tea and some lunch. Started watching it. Good God, it was awful. Bloody terrible, I tell you. First things first. The main character felt like it had no agency at all. I didn't feel at all like the main character was at all choosing his own destiny, so why the hell was he the main character? Not only the main character was treated badly by the story and the author, a lot of it seemed very contrived. Like characters were acting a certain way because the plot demanded it rather than actually making sense. Finally, checkpoint. But yes, it was very contrived in the fact that characters would suffer certain terrible things in this anime. They suffered some awful things, the main character, and he just did not react like you'd expect a human being to. God damn it. So, but it was so strange, because the only reason I watched Great Pretender is it seemed to be so well received. I remember quite a few people talking quite good about it, so I thought, it must be a good one. Even online it would seem to have... everyone loved everything except for the ending. And, well, I never got to the ending, I thought it was awful. So why would I be watching the ending? What did I burn on? Fucking bloody rhubarb. Bullshit. I could rant for days. I would rant about it. But I got all angry at it this afternoon and, well, I don't feel that anger anymore, unfortunately. Talked myself out. It's the first one of those. I hope I didn't miss any of them. Maybe one of these days I'll do like a TV show review or rant or some such. Just after I watch a lot of shows, I have some very strong opinions. And that wasn't the only one. I feel like I've watched something else. I tried to watch, Wakfu. That, bastard. Oh, it sends me all the way back down here, does it? That was a bit rude. Wakfu is a French animation, and I quite liked Radiant, which is also a French one. But this one was, it's not that it was bad, I just couldn't quite get used to it. Its art style was a bit usual. But I might give it another go once I'm feeling a bit more adventurous. I'm trying to think, I could have sworn there was something else I watched. I watched Polar a while back, the one with, Mad Mikkelsen in it. That was a fun jaunt. It wasn't necessarily a very coherent movie, but it was quite fun. Wait. 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 Oh, slipped through the cracks. I'm losing far too many lives here. Isn't there a game with Mad Mikkelsen in it? Well, that Hideo Kojima one, right? Death Stranding. Maybe I should give that a go. I'm gonna concentrate for a moment. What? Coyote time, mates! Ah, bastard. Jumped too early. I'm losing quite a few of a relatively simple platforming. So many lives. That platform just killed me. Cheeky sod. Yes. Have you watched any TV shows recently? I can't be the only one watching TV. I may be the only one in quarantine right now, but... Sure, I'm not the only one watching TV. Any TV shows that stand out for you? That I might be able to watch? Somehow I survived. Does YouTube count? Only if it's some sort of serialized content on YouTube. Like, I don't know. I'm not actually too sure. Chris Broad's A Broad Journey Across Japan series. I'd count that as sort of TV show-like. Then no. Okay. Yes, I've only started, because I'm in quarantine, I usually would just watch whatever's on the bloody TV, but because I'm in quarantine I decided, may as well give some of these shows a go. Checkpoint, finally. Watched Violet Evergarden like a month or two ago. That was the last show I watched. Well, it's a very good show to watch. Probably one of the best anime I've ever watched. I was thoroughly impressed and emotional at that show. As much as I am emotional beyond my very limited range of very ordinary emotions. A very, very good show, that. Still haven't watched the last movie. Almost don't want the series to end, you know? Cried like every episode. Yes. It does have that effect. Even I teared up a number of times, and I've watched it multiple times. And yet I've even teared up almost every episode I've watched. Teared up almost every episode I watched. But yes, I still haven't watched the final movie. I just don't want the series to end, you know? I know how they're going to end it, which is, I guess, part of the problem. I am entirely certain I know exactly how they're planning to end this little tirade into this beautiful life of this girl. And I don't want to know it. I just don't want to see it. My sister always used to do that with book series. She would never finish book series she really enjoyed. She would never read the last chapter. Because in the end, then it would never be finished. And in a way, I understand her now. But just with this show, it's the only thing that's ever given me that effect. So, if that's not a glowing review of Violet Evergarden, I don't know what is. Wow, these are some tough jumps. These are some bloody tough jumps. Oh, bastard. Or do you just suggest not watching the movies? How do you think it should end? Or do you just say don't watch it? How do I think it should end? That's the thing. I am so emotionally invested in this character that I just don't want to see them forced into an end, perhaps. I don't know how I'd end it. I'm almost certain that in the end they'll be bringing back her dead lover. I'm almost certain that that's what they'll do. Or dead lover. Lover is a bit of a simple phrase to use a fairly complicated relationship. But, I just want her to live her life. Perhaps adopt a child would be my way of seeing, like, a good closure to her ending. Or perhaps be married to her work for the rest of her life. Knowing her friends and living her life. I'm not sure how I'm supposed to do this jump. Because I can't. Well, I can make that jump. But I can't when that platform's up. I see. Well, there's two movies, I believe. There's the final movie. And then there's the other movie, the Auto Memories Dull and something or other. I'd suggest watching the first movie. It's very good. It's just a long episode, so if you cried during the episodes, ooh, boy. Do I have the story for you? Oh boy. It is something, that story. So yes, Violet Evergarden. Would really suggest giving it a watch. And watching the movies. And also, I believe there's a long episode that's also on Netflix, about 40 minutes long. That's also a good watch. Other than that, oh, I watched Mitchells and the Machines. Makes me realize that I haven't watched a family movie in a very long time. And Mitchells and the Machines versus the Machines is very much a family movie. I've watched so much dark and depressing content recently that I forgot how happy movies could be, and that was okay. Visuals of the Machine was good though, I can see why people liked it as well. It was good fun, so if you want some good fun, then that's a good show to go for. Hmm. Oh, what's that? Oops. Now you've asked me how I would like Violet Evergarden, and I'm kind of stuck thinking about it. How would I like it to end? The adopting a child thing is certainly something I would... Oh, bastard. Oh, I just fling both of those away. Ah, I thought there was one of those behind there. Why couldn't I get it then? Strange. Bastard. This time I won't screw up the jump. I could have probably made that.
What have I got?
Ah, I had to do it there. Extra life, eh? Any fun back here? I only missed one of those. I think somebody must have jumped in. The viewer count has suddenly popped up, but no one seems to have said anything, so guess they were just checking out what's going on. Now, we can't screw this up. Ah, I see. Would have blown them all up. 40% complete. Save point. Look at me go. Oh, I'm sure I can find this online. Let's keep going. Ugh, maybe my revenge against Crash Bandicoot was quite good. Must speak about what we're going to be doing on the weekend, though. And for the next bit of a while. Oh, hello, Omega Ace Gaming. How you doing? Joining me as I absolutely just blitz old Crash Bandicoot here. How are you feeling today? Quite proud of myself. Doing quite well. Oh dear. Wow, that's wonderful. Hey! 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 Oh, I had one of those. All my years of rhythm practice and music, all led up to this moment. There you go. No rhythms will ever defeat me. Wait. Yeah, you thought. What tempo it is? Well, I don't know. Probably could calculate it. It's probably not that fast. I'm probably acting like I've done something impressive. That's really quite a simple tempo. Ugh. I still can't believe I did that bloody Road to Nowhere level on the bridge. I hope I don't have to do another level like that again. Koala Kong. It's not the two words I expect to see together. It goes to show that I've never ever finished this game. I only ever played the beginning levels for my nieces a few because they didn't understand the concept of passwords. Ah. Nope. Instantly died. Good to see some koalas doing something good with their lives other than being like the pandas in their level of survivability and getting set on fire during terrible bushfires. Ah, take that. So it's a survival thing. I just have to wait until he throws the one rock. That doesn't get very far because he's, I don't know, got too much lactic acid in his muscles. Yes. Anyone else? As I've talked about all my TV shows I've watched recently. Anyone watched any that they found quite interesting other than you, Cardbox? You've already replied. Oh dear. Oops. Forgot that one that could actually hurt me. I've run out of my drink. Tragic. Absolutely tragic. Oh, dear. TV shows? Just reruns of older shows, however. Oh, yes. Well, I've been in... Oh, that's annoying. I've been in quarantine, where I am in Australia. That's why I've been watching... I wasn't saying TV shows, actually. Though I have been watching a few of those, but they have just been the normal reruns of Midsummer Murders and Poirot I always watch. Netflix can count if you watch Netflix. But those sort of things. Streaming shows, all that sort of thing. Because I recently watched The Expanse, the first season of The Expanse, and Carnival Row, and A few animes, actually. One anime I enjoyed, the other I did not. Must have misheard you then. No, I did say TV shows. I'm still not used to the fact that streaming services are the TV shows of the modern era. I keep forgetting there are more than just reruns of Praro on the TV. My vocabulary hasn't changed to match the times, unfortunately. So, if I do say TV shows, I mean everything. Netflix, everything. That sort of thing. Heavy machinery. Mostly been watching movies, to be honest. Well, that can count. Watched a good movie recently. I watched Mitchell's and the Machine 2 days ago, because I have nothing else to do and I may as well watch it. Reminded me of the fun that family movies have, but also the very particular storytelling style of a family movie, you know? Ooh, this all looks very dramatic. It's very different, this, from the other levels. Don't touch that one, I assume. The Thing, a decent prequel. Oh, wow. I really should watch the old Thing movies. The old Thing movie, I suppose. Good horror movies. I just don't think to watch horror movies. So The Thing 2011 is a prequel to the original Thing, I would assume. I didn't even realize it had another movie in that franchise. I thought it was just The Thing. Goes to show how much I watched movies in particular. Is it much different from the normal Thing? The original Thing? Wait. Why are those down to here? That's right, the prequel to the 1982 movie. Oh, was it really 1982? Oh, bloody hell, I feel old. 1980 2. You know, it felt more recent in the grand scheme of things. In fact, I probably watched it more recently than the original release, but goodness. Makes me feel positively prehistoric. There's a lot of CGI as opposed to animatronics, but still, so it doesn't look as convincing. Yeah, well. I suppose CGI these days you could probably make it look quite convincing, but you'd need quite the budget. Ah, the days of practical horror effects, I suppose. Yeah, I could get rid of those dudes anyway. Oh. It was decent, that's good. This was all one run! I've just realised how long of a run I've gone without a checkpoint. This is brutal. Oh, what was that other movie that used practical effects back in the day? That I really liked. You know, I actually might check out one of the old horror movies. Maybe I should go on a horror movie while I'm here on quarantine by myself in a house. Sure to be a great idea to go on a horror movie binge. It has been a very long time since I've kept up with horror movies. Granted, I never really liked them much to begin with. Thing was probably one of the few I've actually watched. And for good reason. I only did it because it was recommended by a friend of mine. As just a good film. maybe I should go back to a bit of a horror movie binge. I wonder if I can watch it anywhere. The original. Speaking of horror movies, I think there was another one around. Was it 2001 or 2011? Event Horizon. Not nearly as good as The Thing, but it is a very amusing movie that I have quite a few fond memories of. Scaring my nieces and nephews with. The ambiguous ending of the original? Yes. Well, I was really a sign of those sort of horror movies. Quite a few horror movies of the era had. You love Event Horizon? That's good. I do too. I'm quite the fan of it. It's a bit cheesy, and it's definitely not the most consistent of experiences, but it does have its moments. The vent scene I remember particularly being quite good. Ah, bastard. Back to the beginning. This is a rough level. When was that movie out? Was it 2011 or was it 2001? Was it neither of those and I've just been completely mixed up by the ones? Alright, but I'm trying to press square at the last possible moment like some sort of speedrunner. Not working out for me though.
What have I got?
1997? Ah. Granted, I did watch that one a lot more recently. I didn't actually watch it when it came out in 97. That one I probably watched around 2001. And then again, when I think... I remember one of my nephews being terrified of it when he was quite young. He walked in and... on that actual vent scene, which is why I remember it so much. I remember his face just being pure white. And him being terrified of the ventilation that was in the old house. Even though the vents were only through a single wall in an old Queenslander. So it's not like any space anyone could hide in, but... tell that to that poor kid. I have a bloody checkpoint. That would be nice. Oh, thank God, a bloody checkpoint. That run was awful. I really forgot how difficult this game was. Every time it reminds me. Now. Nope, okay. Can't screw this up. All my brain on, I'll talk about what I was going to say afterwards. I don't get all the credits. I just get the checkpoint, so I can have the save. That is all I care about, but they really put the saves in the most awful of levels. I would hate to go through this level over and over again. I didn't have the bloody 16 lives that I had. Oh. Been a while since we've moved forward. There is no indication when they're going to do it. Got it. Very kind. Down we go. Ooh. Got N's on them. I was about to say, put Z's or Z's on them, depending Which country you come from?
What have I got?
Who do ya? I'm reaching the end of this place.
What have I got? Good enough.
Made through that one. Concentration is immense. Any more concentration, my blood pressure will be so high my brain cells will burst. Of a hemorrhagic stroke. Oh, good God. All the way back here, eh? Have a bloody hemorrhagic stroke if you keep doing this to me, game. It's also fairly innocuous looking. Fog does not nearly look as dangerous as it should. It's like a flatulence rather than a deadly vapor.
What have I got?
Almost slipped off. I was shaking. Mm-hmm. Oh wow. All these elevators. Where do they lead? Nowhere. Way, way. Oh dear. How the hell am I supposed to get those? Oh, I see. It's not about getting the whole row, it's about getting one. Oh yes, I can also hold down X and get higher. Gotcha. I think we might go for another 30 minutes. Not a very long stream, I know, but you know. An old man can only go for so long till it's his bedtime. If all works out, I may be streaming again tomorrow, but that's a bit up in the air, unfortunately. We'll see. It might be a bit of a surprise for all of us. Hello. Oh, another one of these sort of 3D levels, eh? Oh. Oh, I see.
What have I got?
Cortex power. I see. An industrious person, isn't he? This area looks dangerous. Wahahaha to you too, mate. Goodness. Almost gunned down like by a vicious outlaw. Where's old... Why have I forgotten his name? Okay, you just died there. Alright. That was a bit unfair. What's that actor's name again, gone? How have I forgotten that actor's name? One of the most famous Western actors ever. I'm sure it'll come to me.
What have I got?
The old, what's his... Ah, good God, why can't I not remember his name? Like Good, Bad and the Ugly, that fella.
What have I got?
Ah, all roads lead to Rome, I suppose. That is such a problem in this game. Almost always in platforming, those bloody little masks that protect you from damage, all they do is kill me. Every single bastarding time. And how can I must be able to spin this guy away then. That's 2 lives to him. No, apparently not. I'm not even certain how I'm supposed to get past this guy now. We may lose all our lives. Because he moves at the exact same pace as this board does. See what I mean? I can't actually see a way out of this. Oops. Wasted life. Just kind of test a few things on this first one. Nope. It's instant death if you even touch them. And your spin is not as long as the range of their spikes. I'm actually stumped. What level is this? I'm honestly stumped. I'm not too certain how I'm actually supposed to get past this. Is there something I'm missing? Now he seems to be going the other way. Huh. Alrighty then. I lost far too many lives from that. That little thing was not at all intuitive. Well, we finished the level. Got another life for our troubles. Bizarre. Bizarre indeed. off we go to see the wizard. The wonderful Wizard of Oz. Because all the wonderful things he does. I actually can't see what face I have on right now. Do I look happy or sad or angry? I don't remember what the last button I pressed was. Somebody tell me. I'm so old I can't control my face. Oh dear. Look at Cortex. He's not looking great today. Look at him. The years have certainly not done him well. Well, after that wonderful time of losing all my lives, I'm quite happy now. Oh, bastard. And thank you for telling me. That worked out. Oh, that's it for me, isn't it? Oh no, there's one more. Watch me blow myself up on the stupidest thing. Providence. Oh, and then they just take one from me, do they? That was rude. Just as I said, what Providence? They betray me like that. Absolute bastards. Yeah, well. Oz. Name a more recognizable bloody duo, I say. Me and bloody missing gaps. Well, that's that for me. Oh. Will I continue? Will I go? No. Actually, no. Yeah. What level do I have to play again? Where does it go to? Tell me. That I'll decide if I bloody well want to look at. Do I want to do this again? I put the question to those listening to me. Do I want to put myself through this again? Do I really? Maybe machinery wasn't terrible, but that last section was awful. I still don't know how I got past that robot. Do I want to do this? Oh well, while you're deciding, I will mention what I was going to do. I said I would start Persona 4 on Sunday. I would begin a very long series, but I've actually decided, in light of the upcoming Halo game, that we will be playing all of the Halo games. I probably should have done like a week before Halo, do a week of Halo sort of thing, and that would be very thematically appropriate. But I'm not that organized, and neither are you. Don't kid yourself. So we are... Let me just change up the screen. We are going to be playing Halo for the goodness, I am tired. For the foreseeable bloody future. Cat had my bloody tongue. Just batting it around, making weird sounds. But yes, for the foreseeable future, I think we'll be playing Halo. Get it off my screen so I don't have to listen to this music again and again and go insane slowly. I have the Master Chief Collection on the old Xbox One. Stupidly named thing aside, it should work for what we need. My mouth is not moving very much, is it? Oh, yes, that would be why. I changed him yet. Okay, give me a moment. Ah, well, you don't really care about the mouth movements that much either. It'll be fine. I can't change it right now. Unless I were to completely disappear, and that usually crashes OBS if I do that. But yes, I think I'll start Halo on Sunday, beginning with Halo 1, using the Master Chief Collection. I won't be using the PC Master Chief Collection. I do not want to rely on my computer's ability to stream a consistent gameplay. I'll just pull out the old Xbox One. It's quite slow, but it'll do. Let's hope the bloody game still works. I'll test it. And yes, that's what I'm planning to do. There may be a collaboration of some kind tomorrow. It may be on my channel, it may not be. It's still up in the air. We can see how it goes. Other than that, I think we're very much done for tonight. We will return to Crash Bandicoot one day. I'll watch the streams to make sure that we get back. The Behringer, unfortunately, is on its way out. I must thank my nephew for supplying me with so much random pieces of audio equipment that I actually had something that I could replace the thing with on screen. That could have been tragic. But it's a new era of sound. Finally, I'm not haunted by that bloody metallic sound that I could never find the reason for, except I knew it was coming from this board. I couldn't find why it was coming from the board. The board was working perfectly, from my knowledge. C'est la bloody vie. Such is bloody life, I suppose. So unless you want to watch listen to some Aesop's fables while we all go to sleep, I think we shall end it there. So thank you for watching. I did say I'd go for half more hour, but I lied. Because I'm an adult. And I lie. Going off the bloody rails at the end here. I'm impressed with myself. Other than that, as always, good night. Sweet dreams. Watch out for those floating bloody spiky things if you try and jump in your dreams. They will take away all your lives, no matter how many you have. Most humans only have one, but I don't know, maybe you're a cat. Some sort of cat human, like from that horrid movie of the musical Cats. Starring... Who the bloody hell was it starring? It had Dame Judi Dench in it, didn't it? That Cats movie. What a tragedy that movie was. It's the best way to describe it. A tragedy. Other than that, and my rant about cats notwithstanding, good night. It's been good. Thank you for watching. Signing off.